I'm Sammy Purcell, Associate Editor with Rough Draft Atlanta.
And I'm WABE contributor and AJC Senior Editor Mike Jordan.
And this is How Do You Atlanta.
Here's what's going on in Atlanta this week. What do you got, Sammy?
So we've got the 100% Artists Festival coming up in Cabbagetown on Astoria Street on June 8th. So this is an outdoor concert event in the heart of Cabbagetown, and they're going to be showcasing an exceptional lineup of musicians, including CeCe Sunchild, Kenny Banks Jr., and Leah Calvert. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Attendees are invited to bring a blanket or a chair, set up on the lawn, listen to these talented artists. And then in addition to that, there'll be a variety of food trucks that are local there to offer some delicious culinary delight. So it's going to be a really fun event. It's rain or shine, and it's BYOB, so there'll be food there, but make sure you bring your own adult beverages if you wish to partake. And general admission tickets for adults are $40, and you can purchase those at the link in the show notes. So again, that's the 100% Artists Festival in Cabbagetown on June 8th.
The name, like 100% Artists. Is that like, are they trying to put a dig at all the halfway crooks out there? You know what I mean?
I'm not going to put words in their mouth or anything.
It seems like they're throwing some shade at those
musicians are
98% artists.
100%.
Yeah.
Not 98 degrees. Not,
I feel it. I feel it. Yo, that's all I want to see is I want to see like a battle, you know what I mean? Between the 99 problem artists and the 100% who got the one. That's what I want to see.
I feel pretty musician beefed out between Kendrick and Drake at this point.
No,
but
give
you
us
want some more.
No, it's the summertime. That was just the beginning. It wasn't even officially summer yet.
I know.
Come on,
true.
Captain.
They got started early. All right, what else do you have?
All right. So first we have the Virginia Highlands Summerfest. That's a good place to be for Cabbagetown is Virginia Highland. So this is happening, as you all probably know, every year, June 7th through 9th this year in Virginia Highlands. This is the 39th year of the festival. They will always have a fine artist market, and they will always have a makers market as well. So you can support the newer folks to the game, and you can support the people who might cost you a little bit more money, but it's always worth it to have great local art in your home. Of course, there's always a 5K run. This is on Saturday, June 8th. And at this point, they can't guarantee your T-shirt size, but you will get a T-shirt. So, maybe it's the sleep shirt, maybe it's the kid's shirt, maybe it's the dog shirt, but someone will get a shirt out of this. There's also going to be live music, 4 bands on Saturday, including the Wigs, and 3 on Sunday. But the whole thing happens between Ponce and Highland on Virginia Avenue. And it's June 7th through 8th. More information is at vahi.org. Matter of fact, just look in the podcast show notes because Vahi might sound tricky to people.
Sounds a little weird, yeah. I forget how old some of these little communities
Virginia
are.
Highland, yeah. And to that credit, too, it was, I think their recent, upgrades and some of the new energy kind of helped it not feel like it was 39, which is almost like dog years for a neighborhood. So, I feel like it's a good time to actually get back out there and see some new restaurants, new little pop-ups. It's a changed community in the last few years. So if you haven't been, go do it.
Yeah, I got to check it out.
Yep. All right, what do you have next, Sammy?
Well, so coming up on June 8th, we've got the American Hydrangea Society annual garden tour. So this is the 29th annual garden tour from the Society. It's going to run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., rain or shine, and there'll be 5 beautiful gardens for your touring pleasure in North Atlanta and also in the Roswell, Marietta, and Canton areas. And the tour obviously features hydrangea in several different types of settings and gardens, both large and small. So the tickets for the tour are $35 for a single membership or 1 tour ticket, and then $50 for a household membership. So that'd be 2 adults residing at the same address. And that also includes a 1-year membership in the Society, which is exciting. So membership tickets, as of today, have to be purchased at the first stop on the tour, which that address will be released later. So it's a little too late to buy them online, but the address of that first garden should be released maybe by now, but definitely it'll be on their website, which is in the podcast show notes. So if you're interested, you can take a look at that and just stop by that garden and purchase your ticket. And you can do that from 9 a.m. to noon on the day of the tour. Wear sturdy and comfortable shoes. That is something that they really stress. You're going to be walking a lot, so make sure you're comfortable. And again, that's the American Hydrangea Society annual garden tour on June 8th.
Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with these things.
Oh, gosh.
Because they're beautiful.
They're
but
stunning.
Have you ever tried to grow them?
No, why would I put myself through that?
It makes you feel bad because, it takes a lot. I'm almost to the point like, should you grow them inside or what? Because they're beautiful for when I get them, and then they are gone in like 2 weeks.
I know.
I see that happen around a lot. I see that they seem to be kind of hard to keep up. So this would actually be really good if you, like me,
this is the time to see them. Yeah, absolutely.
And get some tips on, not killing them in 2 weeks, which is, I have a 100% success rate in killing these expensive flowers. Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, gosh. This is How Do You Atlanta. I'm Sammy Purcell, and we'll be back right after this break. All right, what else do you have for us, Mike?
All right, on the 6th of June, Thursday, Eric Andre will be here to do the Eric Andre Show live. And I don't know if everyone out there is familiar with Eric Andre. If you are not, make sure you check him out online before you show up, because it is a very different type of comedy show. It's very performative. It's almost like shock comedy, but if you have if you have an appetite for that kind of humor, he's hilarious. But it is not, again, probably not for the children. There's going to be way more of him interacting. There will be probably some surprises from the stage. I mean, this is someone who has people jump out from under the desk, with chainsaws at celebrities that we all know, and they're not in on the joke, so sometimes it gets a little weird, but in a very hilarious way. So, again, check this out before you go online and before you go to the show. His website is ericandretour.com, and you can find more information about what he does and why he's such a big deal. And you can also get your tickets there for the show at the Tabernacle, 8 p.m. on June 6th, and that's a Thursday night.
Yeah, you definitely got to check his stuff out. I don't know if you've seen Bad Trip, which is essentially which is kind of the same thing, except he's doing it to regular people.
Yeah. and it is it's a lot. But
yes.
If it's not happening to you, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And he does put himself through these things as well.
Oh yeah. He's putting himself through the ringer.
Yeah.
So
if you want to see someone,
comes out unscathed.
leave it all on the table, including his own body. He's hilarious. So check it out, ericandretour.com. All right, what do you have next, Sammy?
Well, this started June 4th, but it goes through June 9th, and that is Les Miserables at the Fox. So this is Cameron Mackintosh's acclaimed production of the award-winning musical phenomenon Les Mis, and this brilliant staging has taken the world by storm and been hailed as a Les Mis for the 21st century by the Huffington Post. So it's really exciting. This is one of my favorite musicals to see live, just because the music is so loud and the instrumentation is so vibrant and just a wonderful thing to see live. If you've only ever seen the movie, I would definitely recommend going to see it on stage, because it's just a whole different experience. And if you don't know, of course, the story of Les Mis, it tells the story of Jean Valjean, of broken dreams, unrequited love, redemption, and it's just a really, really beautiful story and has some amazing songs like I Dreamed a Dream, On My Own, Bring Him Home, One Day More. So many more. It's really one of my favorites. It's a great musical. And again, it started on June 4th at the Fox, but it's running through June 9th. So go ahead and get your tickets now, and you can get those at the Fox website, which is in our show notes.
Awesome. So, of course, I have not yet seen it live, and I always see Hugh Jackman whenever I'm thinking about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the way you described it, the music being a big kind of
it's just
force
all in your face. I've always had a little bit of a problem with the movie, not to talk too much about it, but it's just the orchestrations are not to the level of I think just majesty and loudness that they need to be. They're very quiet in the movie, I would say. And when you see it live, or if you've ever seen a live concert version of it, it's just a completely different.
It's the heart thumping and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Well, plus you're a live theater person anyway, so you're probably down on the movie business in general.
Not in general. I do have a lot to say about how the industry is making current movie musicals, but I could go on forever, so I won't.
We'll come back to that then. Okay, good. Keep that. Put a pin in that. We'll come back. Yeah.
All right. What else do you have for us this week?
All right. Coming up next, Render. So if you haven't already been seeing, the posters and everything around social media. And it's probably going to be, you're probably more aware of this if you are in the tech or startup community. But it's this really big conference. It's coming into Atlanta again, but it's sort of like this. They bill it as excellence meets empowerment, and it's in the world of technology and coding. But it's especially welcoming to people of color and women and everything like that. And it's such a very eclectic crowd that comes to get together and talk about coding and the tech sector and help each other out with just information networking and a lot of great workshops. So not only are you going to get all of the access with your tickets, but it's actually going to be a gold chain lanyard, which is always good. The tech people could always use more gold chains. There'll also be a keynote from Shannon Sharp, who is the host of the viral Club Shay Shay podcast, which everyone probably saw with Cat Williams recently. And there's going to be a party called Render House, and there's going to be a performance by DJ Pee Wee. But if you're not familiar with him, that's because he's actually the alias of Anderson .Paak. So Anderson .Paak will be there spinning as a DJ. So I'm expecting that to be crazy. But also, again, there's a lot to learn in the workshops about coding and a lot of great people to meet. So look for this at the America's Mart Building 2, June 12th through 14th, and information and tickets are at renderatl.com.
Oh, I've always been so impressed by people who can code. We learned a little bit of it, kind of basics, I would say, at some point in a journalism class, like a data journalism class, but I was never very good at it, so I'm always very impressed.
Yeah, it takes a certain discipline, to stick with it. It's not that it's all that complicated, but it is something that you have to stay with.
Yeah,
so
memorize a bunch of things.
And
I don't know.
those folks who are into that, they deserve community as well, because they are also have you ever kicked it with at a conference where there's tech people and it's not really their thing, but they're going to make it their thing?
Yeah.
They have been holding it back for quite a while. So I'm really happy that they're going to have Anderson .Paak DJing and stuff. It's actually going to be a really good time. I went last year. Trust me, if you're into tech stuff, go there. You'll have a great time.
Very cool.
Yep. That's it for this week's edition of How Do You Atlanta. For more on these and other great events all around the city, go to howdoyouatlanta.com. How Do You Atlanta is a joint production of WABE and Rough Draft. This podcast is produced by Crystal Devone with editing from Scotty Crow, WABE's Vice President of Audio. You can find links to all these events in the podcast show notes.
WABE.